Trust us now, it's time to let me go. Give up on us, follow what you want. Trust us now, it's time to let me go. Give us over. Wake up, save us once. You'll never let go where we thought your memories were wrong. Save us once. Don't ever wake up. What
I got caught up in the money, power. I don't give a shit.
Trust us now. It's time to let me go. Give up on us. Follow what you want. Trust us now. It's time to let me go. Give us over.
I remember the lead up to GTA 5 being an amazing time. I would come home from school all the time to see any new content on GTA 5. Be it speculation videos, leaks, wish lists, I was there. And when the game released, I played it through, beginning to end, doing as much as I could before the multiplayer portion would release about 2 weeks later. I remember when I first experienced GTA Online, it was rather annoying. I was sitting in a loading screen for hours, waiting to get into Lamar's first race. Kinda symbolic as to what GTA Online would eventually turn out to be. A glorified waiting room for new Rockstar titles, with bells and whistles that would release every half year to woo the most casual audience of gamers. The best way I can describe the online portion, as it currently is imagine being stuck to a screen for the foreseeable future, mindlessly doing the most mediocre thing for less than a fraction of the worth, using fake income you earn doing lackluster tasks that's been purposefully designed to waste your time. A human being's most precious commodity, lining the pockets and checking the egos of those who once created artistic, meaningful pieces of entertainment. Video games you would remember for the rest of your days as being art, crafted by people who also care for the medium of video games.
We really know that we're going to be able to go to the next level in terms of realistic simulations and realistic immersions combined with incredible narrative, incredible storytelling, and those two components combined are what are going to create the experiences of the future.
The potential for a GTA Online once made me dream of possibilities, but now makes me bitter with disappointment, as they announce new updates that seem like they've been created by soulless corporations trying their best to appeal to the mindless masses. I ask myself every time I hop on GTA Online nowadays what else I can be doing with my time. Should I be playing another game like Metal Gear Solid with a beginning and an end? Something I can draw meaning from, rather than something that has begun and still hasn't ended? Artificially lengthened so that you, the player, might one day just buy a precious shark card so you can buy that sweet little flying vehicle that you've been wanting and not further waste any of your time. As you sit and play the game, Rockstar and Take-Two are making money off of your attention and retention, as you aren't just a dollar to them, but also a statistic. A number on a screen for them to check as their egos grow, stock prices rise, and their quality diminishes, knowing that you'll just go and buy anything they shit out. I think I just did well in describing the average mindless Rockstar fanboy who defend every single predatory thing they do because, oh, they're just a company. Their whole goal is to make money. Well, you're defending a soulless corporation that can give two shits about you. So why even bother defending them at all? Perhaps I know why. You've digested so much of their shit that you can't tell what makes something good versus what makes something complete toilet water. But as the gamely griefed by some guy who's wasted too much of their time killing people in a skill-less game. This game is just full to the brim with frustrations and pointless objectives. It's also funny that when you think of it, the GTA Online fanbase seems to come up with better and more fun ideas than Rockstar games themselves. Try playing Rockets vs. Insurgents. It's actually fun. Not to say that Rockstar hasn't come up with fun ideas like the Deadline mode, which I've spent plenty of my time on also, but they are just few and far between. Now, I do want to spend a decent chunk of this video discussing shark cards. Basically the lifeblood of GTA Online, which continues to blow my mind on how much money Rockstar and Take-Two seem to pull in off of shark cards alone. Thinking and doing my research on how these companies make their dirty money, I will attempt to name and categorize the types of spenders and non-spenders who spend their time playing GTA Online today. So bear with me and let's go down the rabbit hole. The first type of people are the tuna, or non-spenders. The tuna are the most casual you can get. A person who beat GTA 5 and then went to the online portion to have some casual fun. Maybe they play with friends. These people don't spend too much of their time on a single game alone and would only give what they think is worth their time to a single game. These people will move on to their next game without giving much thought, or maybe come back when their friends are online. These people are what everybody should aspire to be. The next type of person I would like to call is a swordfish, or a new spender. These people are what corporate would probably consider potential. There are a few directions in which new spenders can go in. Direction 1 spenders are probably one and dones, never to buy another shark card again. Direction 2 spenders will consist of people who will make a second purchase sooner rather than later. Then, after the second purchase, will maybe buy a few more, then never do it again. There are a few more directions a swordfish can go, but they become other sea creatures, which we will discuss later. The next type of spender, or rather non-spender, are the stingray, or the active non-spenders. These people play and they will grind out to make money. This is the group of people I would say I was in. Mindlessly grinding and doing the most tedious things you can possibly do in an online video game, just to make a few bucks. Something keeps us attached to this game. Maybe it's just dumb fun, playing out of boredom, but when you play as a grinder, you are just mindlessly doing nothing. And at this point, for me personally, it's just the sheer amount of time I've already spent on this game which keeps me coming back. That's it. The active non-spenders don't want to spend a dime on shark cards because they realize how worthless they really are and would rather earn it the hard way. Now onto the sharks, or repeat and active spenders. This one is fairly simple to grasp. They are those who spend when a new update releases, or when new content is streamlined into the game via new vehicle or some tiny ass piece of shit like a shirt, you know? The people who consist of repeat spender are probably the YouTubers and streamers when a new update releases. If they don't have enough money in the game to show you everything, they just whip out the wallet and get some money. Not to say that only influencers do this, because plenty of other normal people also do this as well. Now we move on to the turtles, or reactivated spenders. Turtles are people that stopped playing for maybe a couple years, then hopped back on and spend their money to buy the stuff that they haven't had the opportunity to use yet. Maybe people who feel that they are missing out on content that others have already digested and owned for so long. Now we get onto the whales, or big spenders, the corporation's favorite type of spender. The whale is probably the most well-known type of spender. Ask anyone who's familiar with microtransactions, and they almost definitely know what a whale is. It's a universal term for them. These spenders are probably rich sheiks or some Wall Street executive spending their thousands of dollars because they don't care how much they're spending. They've got it all, I guess. Enough to the point where they have to draw all of their meaning from a meaningless game. Now, Let's get into what makes the population this fucked up game has spawned. I will attempt to discuss and dissect the many perspectives of all sides, so let's get into it. The business perspective. So it's pretty obvious that there is some form of psychology at play here in the lucrative business model of microtransactions. When there's a lot of money to be made, ethics and morals go right out the window. These big buck businesses really do want to squeeze every single nickel and dime out of you. They have no more care for their customers and can only see the bottom line. The quality that once was is now no more. So it wouldn't come to any surprise to realize that they've hired people who've studied psychology to really get into the minds of these spenders. I have a bunch of topics in which I will go over one by one, which I've sourced from a press conference between developers and businessmen in the mobile game industry. They talk about how to take advantage and manipulate the players who play these games and try to milk them for the money that they have. The video is linked below if you wish to watch it yourself, and I highly suggest you do. And I will go over the topics that they've talked about and reflect it upon how Rockstar and Take-Two conduct themselves within GTA Online. Competitive rich people. The very best way to get very rich competitive people to spend their unlimited cash flow within GTA Online is if you give them the tools to conduct their mayhem. I can't imagine them having very much time if they've made it big, so they aren't going to be wasting it grinding away at crate missions. They're just going to buy shark cards and use those GTA Online dollars to get the very best jets, oppressors, and more to go ham on people. And if they find another competitive rich person, they're gonna duke it out as hard as possible. In-game economy. In the beginning of GTA Online's life, the prices for things were reasonable. Shirts, weapons, vehicles, all seemed reasonable. Then later down the line, thinking of only greed, they upped the price of everything, making it expensive just to buy one article of clothing. The vehicles and their customizations would make it to where in total, you'd be spending 2 to 5 million on one car. Bartle type monetization. In this screen, there are bullet points for a Bartle type graph. These are the players that are categorized by a game company and how to monetize off of each type of player. You will recognize that a lot of these players fall in line to the type of people who play GTA Online. All of these types of people will usually fold under one person, because GTA Online is so accessible. Let's start with the Achievers. Achievers are those who want to complete everything. Unlocking all the buyables, gathering all the collectibles, purchase everything in the game, completing all the missions, etc. Rockstar grants these people progress for them to waste their time on while giving you virtually no money while doing so. Socializers. These people love to show off what they have in the game that they're playing. In GTA Online terms, give the players enough overpriced customization to allow them a way to run out of money fast, giving them a higher chance of paying for a shark card. Killers. Rockstar gives the griefers a competitive advantage to disrupt as many people trying to make money. Start adding very overpowered and expensive things such as alien Gatling guns, oppressor Mark IIs, and orbital cannons. Give the killers something overpriced for them to also buy shark cards for. Explorers. These people want content. They want new storylines, even though the storylines are trash. They want new objectives, even though the objectives are painful bore to go through. They want new characters, even though the characters are poorly written.
10,000 feet, you can kick when you've landed, and you ain't flown in one of these unless it's all over the social. Fuck yeah!
And I want to take this opportunity to talk about the contract update. It's easily the most soulless updates that they've released so far. All they did was bring a well-known rapper into the fold as he's a marketable person. They brought Franklin back even though it felt phoned in. It was a shallow and empty attempt at bringing as many people back to the game as possible. Icebreaker. GTA Next Gen has a 3-month deal applied to the sale of it. Why would they give you such a long time to pay for something like this, knowing how greedy they are? Because they know that this is just a re-release. It is just a glorified port that allows you to play in 60 FPS with ray tracing that is barely noticeable. Almost to the point that it's false advertising. So give the people enough time to think it's a deal, even though it's not a deal, it's a ripoff. Emotional commitment. Rockstar and Take-Two know that if you've purchased shark cards, then you are willingly becoming emotionally committed to this game. Rockstar wants that of you. Not only did you spend your time playing it, but also your money. So if you ever come across a severe GTA Online defender, just know that they've probably dumped a dumb amount of money into GTA Online, and that they've been successfully manipulated by Rockstar. Offers and scarcity. GTA Online always has special offers that they give to the fanbase, such as discounts, limited time series, double money and XP. Rockstar wants your attention. They want you to constantly consume GTA Online because it gives them a higher chance of you paying for a shark card. Subscriptions. Rockstar and Take-Two just introduced their first subscription service, GTA Plus. The rewards are so terrible, all you get for $6 a month is 500k monthly, an amount that you can earn within 45 minutes. Businesses you probably already own, and some useless benefits. Rockstar knows the benefits for GTA Plus aren't good, but they also know that there are people that will still buy it, because some of the people looking at the benefits only see bullet points, and they aren't registering the information that is on the side of those bullet points. Great. Congratulations, you just signed up for Rockstar to take $6 a month from your bank account, then later to forget you're being charged for it in the future. This is their goal, the IKEA effect. IKEA is known for terrible furniture, but they allow you to make it yourself. When you put time and effort into something, a person is more likely to enjoy it even though the quality of it is poor. You can say GTA Online is IKEA and the updates are your furniture. You know that the updates and content is pretty bad, but you've already spent a lot of your time on it, which gives you the impression that you like it even though it's just an indisputably terrible game. Now, let's get into the developer's perspective. I would like to think that the people who developed GTA Online in the past are still working on it today, but it's obvious this isn't true. The severe dip in quality really shows, and who can blame the developers? They're just doing their jobs, listening to the guys on top who really make the decisions, and they have no choice but to work on trash. It's a privilege to work for Rockstar Games. Being able to state in your resume that you worked for them would help tremendously to any game developer out there. It would honestly be kind of funny if GTA Online is some kind of punishment Rockstar would give to an employee if they didn't meet some kind of deadline, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people working on GTA Online mostly consist of interns. Everything I talked about today seems like something Rockstar would have parodied in the past. Making fun of games like Call of Duty and GTA 5 by parodying them as Righteous Slaughter 7, and commenting how they release the same games over and over again. Very hypocritical considering they just released the same exact version of GTA 5 again, and charged you for it. At this point, it's obvious that Rockstar is a shell of what they once were. With a lot of the core Rockstar heads who have left, fled, or were just straight up thrown out, what hope do we have left? Let's not forget that Red Dead Redemption 2 was in development during the formation of the cancer that is GTA Online. At the time, they've probably already been in development of RDR2, and it wouldn't have made any sense to not finish what they've already financed for a while. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick stating himself that RDR2 isn't going to be as successful as GTA 5 before it even released. It did have a successful launch, however, as it sold plenty of copies, and in total has reached over 42 million sales as of February 2022, which is roughly $2.5 billion in profit. But in the eyes of corporate, it wasn't GTA Online levels as successful, as GTA has already surpassed RDR2 in terms of sales and microtransaction sales since RDR2's release. But in the end, RDR2 was a fantastic game telling the story of a gang who once thought of themselves as more than just criminals, but revolutionaries. People fighting against restriction and pushing the boundaries of what was unjust laws in their eyes, supporting anyone who also believed in their cause. But as with many stories, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. As time went on, they soon became the shadows of their former selves, doing despicable things to those who they once might have helped in the past. Kind of reminds me of Rockstar in a way. Now, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, that being GTA 6. You're probably thinking that I believe GTA 6 is going to be a dumpster fire. You would be false in thinking that. I know that Rockstar and Take-Two see the potential GTA 6 can have over the coming decades. That's right, decades. This will carry them into the far future. If GTA 5 can last this long, you bet GTA 6 can last even longer. But I'm also under the belief that once GTA 6 releases, it will be Rockstar's last release for a very, very long time. They will put all of their effort into the multiplayer portion, leaving their once thought of endeavors, such as Bully 2 or Agent, to the wayside, indefinitely. Don't get me wrong, I'm also excited for GTA 6, but knowing what they've been doing for almost a decade now, compromises will be made not only to the integrity of GTA 6, but for the entire gaming industry. Rockstar and Take-Two isn't just some game company, but role models to the other game companies that exist today. These modern game companies don't just look at Rockstar, they take notes. So in the end, who knows what GTA 6 is going to become? Some say it's going to be bad, some say it's going to be good. All I know is that the lead up to GTA 6 is going to be a memorable time to be a part of. So let's savor this moment, guys. Savor it. Enjoy the hype. Because hype leading up to a new GTA game won't be felt afterwards for a very long time. Let's just hope they do have some self-awareness though, and they let us piece together how they once were and how they've become what they are today.